Hello, chat, and welcome back to my virtual reality space. Today, we are going through everything that I do within my business to hopefully help someone in their business making decision. And I am making sure that everything that I share here is my business perspective. Alright, so last time we met, we spoke about data collection and the importance of when you are having a business to have data that you can easily evaluate that will help you to move forward and help you to spot patterns so that you can increase your revenue, your GDP, and increase your probability of success. Now it looks like we are caught up here on YouTube. So I'm going to take this opportunity to let X know that we are currently live and right now in Florida it is partly cloudy, and please excuse the fact that I do not have my personal camera on. The reason for that is I just downloaded iOS 26, and when I downloaded it yesterday, I was unprepared for the fact that there would be changes. Now I know there would be changes, but I just wasn't prepared for the fact of I would have to redo my persona, and due to all of the clouds outside and the limited amount of lumens coming from the sun, the Vision Pro is requesting that I increase my light, and I am trying to use this in a very natural way that would essentially be the same way anyone else would use it. So I will have to be redoing my persona in order to have my face show back up in the bottom right corner. But it still doesn't take away from the fact that today we might run out of music space, only due to the fact of today we are talking about. Alright, let's open up my notes here. Today we are talking about the AI revolution and how it is going to replace you. Now, everyone business is set up differently. Oh, I'm not even scrolling. Just by looking at my screen chat, it's just moving. I wasn't prepared for all of this. But in any case, the AI revolution is something like the Industrial Revolution, where we had so much data that we were able to increase our efficiency and increase our GDP. Now, here's the bad part. GDP is not human, and if you rely on it, you will be replaced and you will become irrelevant. Now, I've made some notes here, so I'm going to be sticking to my notes a little bit so that way we can efficiently get through this. Alright, so today's episode is essentially about me hiring and how this business, how 4K game streaming, which is a legal business entity in the state of Florida, how I handle hiring and paying employees. Every business owner will at some point or another need to decide if they want to hire on additional help and how that entire thing will be structured. Now, me personally, I think that people deserve the amount of money required to provide the lifestyle that they want and the lifestyle that they need. Now, by assuming that minimum wage will be a job with an income and taking that job, you're putting yourself in a position to fail. You are also putting the entire system at risk by not choosing to stay away from jobs that do not pay you sufficient, because now you will be financially restrained and you will be emotionally affected, which will decrease the quality of your life. So now, me personally, I am taking in account not just what is happening in my business, but how everything is generally affecting us all. We just had a change in the tax code here in America, and I've been keeping up to date with it to the best of my ability. There is a lot of information going on out everywhere, but essentially what this all comes down to is planned obsolescent. Now, this word might be something you have never heard before, but if you check, we're going to be going through our notes in the description below. So chat, go ahead and join the description below so that way you can follow along. So the first thing we talked about is the hiring of the employees. Now, the planned abstinence is what is baked into the system. If you feel as if the tax code or the system or the planet is just not working in your favor, it was never working in your favor. It's doing exactly what it was meant to do. It was meant to keep the power in the hands of the powerful and keep everyone else as extras. Now, what happens when you don't need extras? You get rid of them. Now, me personally, I don't think of myself as an extra or as something to be easily discarded. And so that is why I started my own business, because I value my time and I value the time of others. So I have no intention of trying to play anyone. And to give a reference to what I mean here, on my X, you will be able to see that I have added some new notes here. And right here in the middle, well, I missed it. Well, I'm trying to aim at this with my eye, so sorry about that, chat. But right here in the middle, I am offering a 50% platform split to any manager which is capable of helping me grow one of my many platforms. Reason being, sometimes we just don't have the financial backing to be able to start our own business. And so it is really good to be able to help someone else out while growing. But what use is it helping someone else if you can't even help yourself? You're going to help someone else get ahead, and as soon as you become unhappy or uneasy, they're just going to be like, well, you made it too easy, and all of the other kids are not paying attention, and we're just going to get rid of you and hire someone else for even cheaper. They live with their parents, and so they don't really care all that much. And the thing about it is, it starts a cycle that you have to choose to break. So let us get back to our notes here. So planned obsolescent is essentially the system. It was planned to take away from you. The government will go ahead and protect us from outside forces at a cost. You chose to pay the cost, but at the same time, you didn't choose to protect yourself by getting a job that values you. Number one, get a job that values you. The next section we're going to move into here is the solution. The solution to all of this is quite easy. And we have run out of audio. Let's put that back on. But all right, the solution, as in the description here, is for you to like this video. Now you're probably thinking, Tyrone, how is me liking your video going to help me get a job? Now here's the thing about it. If you don't choose to do something differently for yourself to help you, you will never get ahead. And AI does not need people. People need people. So if you choose to invest into your data storage, which is non-human, instead of human storage, then what happens is you become more self-reliant, where you don't need anyone. Now, what use is someone who doesn't need anyone? of no use to me because you don't need me. I don't need you. Now, I am asking you to like this video so that other people can see this video and be aware that by starting your own business or helping a small business, someone who has the ability to see you, someone who needs you, someone who is like, I can't physically do all this work by myself. That's the kind of person you need to work for. If you work for a huge corporation with hundreds and thousands and benefits, yes, it's really nice to be able to get that large pay dropped into your bank. But essentially what will happen is, as soon as they have juiced you for as much as you can, as much as they can, it's going to be within their GDP to get rid of you because they have stored data from you, and they can very easily get someone else to come in, replace you, and you will never be needed because you made it too easy to replace you. Now, yes, small creators can also grow out of needing your assistance, but essentially what I'm saying here is I went to college and I got a college degree and I have experience in business management. I actually led multiple teams, did the hiring, the firing, the training, the onboarding, the back-end training in order to keep our employees up to date. I've also done so much. My resume is wonderful, but that isn't going to matter because of what we're going to talk about next. If you give your application to an employee and they are not like, hey, come on in, let's start the training as you were giving me your application, don't bother, because they are going to take your data and your long list of qualifications and feed it to the AI. The AI is then now going to know exactly how to replace you because you gave the AI exactly what it needs to replace you. So who do you have to blame? Everyone is to blame because we are unconscious and not self-aware. You need to be self-aware of not only what you are doing, but what your actions can eventually lead to. And it's very hard to know what your actions will lead to, but take a look around you right now. If you have a job, you need to quit, because if you don't quit, AI is going to replace you. Now, what good is it that you quit before even, being ready? Well, that's where our third place comes in here. AI will replace you and leave you unexpectedly and unprepared. So what'll happen is you'll be going into work and you'll be like, oh my God, all these people out here got fired. Oh my God, all these people out here are applying for jobs. Oh my God, I went on Indeed and I put in 500 applications. I put in 1,000 applications. I'm getting some kind of talk. I'm not getting any kind of talk. I feel the growth. You're talking a whole lot about what you should have seen coming, because if you just take a minute to look at social media, this video is on social media. I know you see it, the state of the world right now. And if you close your eyes and pretend you hear no evil, see no evil, evil will happen to you because you are not paying attention. You are making yourself a victim. And when you become a victim, it's just going to become too easy to replace you because you have been socially trained to be domiciled, to just be unaware. I don't want to say brain dead because no one in my audience is brain dead. No one ever, anywhere is brain dead. It is all about what you are exposed to and how you are exposed to it. Anyone with a brain, even though you're saying that yes, they have a slow learning disability, we are all able to learn. So my advice, if you do not want to be replaced, is to leave before you are replaced, because you will be replaced. find a community, find a place that values people, having people come together, people congregating, people talking, people saying how great the day is, positivity, not just blindly ignoring the world. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we need to come together as people, because people need people. AI needs GDP. GDP will eventually replace the lower class, the middle class, and the upper class. Because if you don't believe me, right, you're saying that AI is not all that bad. AI is helping me. I'm actually making more money with it. China has invented an artificial womb where a baby can be premature, and you can have the AI assist you in developing the baby to full term. Or maybe you decided not to be aware that other people have feelings, and then you decide to just kind of do your own thing, and you decide to ignore the other side of the aisle. Then what will happen is you'll be by yourself, and then you choose to not want to be by yourself, and you want to have a child. Then you go into this whole AI birth thing. When you do that, you are creating more robots. You're going to see more robots walking around, and you're going to see less people walking around. Now, if this trend continues, let's just use our imagination here. Let's say one day there's 100 robots. Then the next day there's 1,000 robots. Then the next day there's 1,000,000 robots. That is an increase. Now, I'm not literally saying day by day this is what will happen, but there's multiple companies pushing to get rid of you by inventing systems that makes you obsolete, makes your position obsolete. If the jobs were invented to give people purpose, to give people financial stability, and to give us something to do. If I sit down with absolutely nothing to do, my head starts to hurt, because my body is telling me, you have so much potential. Your mind is moving. Why are you not writing anything down? Why aren't you doing anything? I cannot sit and do absolutely nothing. It's very boring. So, in order to help myself, I have to help everyone else around me, because one way or another, I know what is going to happen to me today and tomorrow. I may not be 100% sure because I cannot see the future, but I at least have some kind of a blueprint to say, this is where I am heading. This is the path that I choose to take. And the path that I choose to take is to enrich the lives of my viewers by adding value to your life and offering a way for people who want to speak one-on-one with me to join me on Discord, where I will devote my time to listening to your individual situations and helping precisely to your need, because everyone is not the same. Everyone is at a different stage in their financial journey and their mental health journey, and no one is perfect. Everyone could use a little assistance. However, there is no, we lost the audio. However, due to the fact of how many people could potentially just say, hey, drop all this knowledge on me, help me out, I would be bombarded with just, trying to help everyone. I wouldn't be able to help myself. So to help everyone involved, so that everyone involved can have a calm and peaceful life, I suggest that we all come together as humans. Now, I'm not saying that AI, we should just throw out all of our data storage. That is not at all what I'm saying. What I am saying is the Industrial Revolution took away a lot of jobs because we invented computers, we invented systems which were capable of managing tasks so that we would have a less mental strain. So yes, it's nice to be able to have the AI to assist us, but the AI should not be replacing. The AI should be enhancing. And if you feel like you're in a company that is big, or a company that is bringing in a lot of layoffs and AIs and all these different changes that make you think that you may be on the chopping block, if you even have the thought, you need to leave, because you are a very smart individual and your mind is not playing tricks on you. By staying, you'll be putting yourself in danger, not in danger, but you'll be putting yourself in harm's way, because historically, when large groups of humans have nothing to do, it tends to get a little chaotic. There is just too much energy with no outlet. And the government is the only legal entity that has a monopoly on violence. What you choose to do with that information is completely up to you. But the government will always defend its beliefs to the grave. And politics is two sides of the same coin. You are fighting, and it doesn't matter what the reason is. No reason is a good reason, in my opinion, to exhibit bad behavior. Because yes, it might seem justified to harm another person, or say, oh, there's no people involved, let me just desecrate this building or this landmark. But we are actually bringing down the quality of life for everyone due to something I like to call boredom. So to avoid boredom, start a side hustle. Start something that is easy for you to maintain yourself, something that you can help you, because if you don't help you, no one can help you. Only you can help yourself. And if you don't pay attention to the AI race, there will be robots that comes out, which will be nurses. They will do healthcare. They will do the physically intensive task of picking things up, so there will be less nurses needed. There will be the warehouse would be affected, manufacturing. There is already, like, say for instance, I have a Tesla, and Teslas are now pretty much all made by a robot from like beginning to end. Yes, there is some humans still in the loop, but if you really pay attention, it becomes cheaper and more efficient. The GDP becomes more profitable the less human there is in the loop. And that's because of how the company is structured. It's a AI company, a robotics company, but eventually robots will be able to improve themselves, which means even less staff is required. So essentially, the main takeaway from today is that we all need to come together as humans, because humans need humans. AI do not need humans. AI needs GDP, regardless of how that GDP is generated. And to ensure that you have the ability to feed yourself and to feed your family, you need to make a decision that is good and healthy for you. And that means to make sure that you can pay for your groceries. I see no point in going to a job. I was a general manager, and I'm not going to say the place or what I did, but I had the ability to lead people, and people were relying on my decision-making process. But at the end of the day, the amount of money I received was not sufficient for me to pay for housing, food, just housing and food, and my phone bill. The amount of money I received from being a general manager was not sufficient. Now, who do I have to blame? I blame myself, because I lowballed myself into a position that didn't pay enough. And then once I did realize it was unsustainable, what I'm telling you could happen to you happened to me. I was replaced. Now, at the time, I wasn't replaced by AI, but AI was in the loop. And because I want to help everyone in this community grow and not just be have everyone drive themselves into being obsolete and unneeded, I am urging everyone to please like this video so that more people can see it, so we can all come together and help each other. But on that note, I did go over my usual short time, but I think it's justified. I am also sorry about the personal camera being off. I really did want to have my personal reactions, my personal touch to the video in there, where you're able to see my physical face, well, not my physical face, my digital face, and how I'm reacting. But unfortunately, I was not fully prepared, and the sunlight in Florida right now is not working, and the inside lights in my house not sufficient. It is like it needs me to have all the lumens off the sun or studio lights. And the entire point of getting this Vision Pro was to enhance my life. So I got rid of all of my previous, YouTube gear, the cameras, the lights, all that is gone. All I have now is my Vision Pro and my cell phone. But on that note, I will be ending the video here. I want to say thank you to everyone who has already subscribed. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. I am dropping all the knowledge of what I went through in order to get to where I am. This series is free here on YouTube, but I am asking that you please subscribe on Patreon. It will help me out, and it'll help the channel grow to where my end goal with this channel is to create a charity. Now, why a charity? Because a 501c3 isn't taxed, and because the money that we will be saving will be spent towards providing free housing and free meals for everyone who volunteers. Now, there is a lot of people who are working and cannot afford food and cannot afford their house, because the price of rent in Florida as of right now has gone up by 35%. Let's run these numbers real quick, right? And if you think this makes sense, then please drop a like on the video. So I know I said I was gonna end it, but Chad, I gotta tell you, I have so much to give. So if you have a home, right? Let's say you have a land. The land is taxed by the government. You don't own it. You never will. You're renting it. Whether you buy or rent, you're always renting. Now, let's say you don't want to mow the grass and fix the roof. We're going to get back to mowing the grass and fixing the roof. But let's say you don't want to mow the grass and fix the roof. You will have to pay the tax for... Let's get this music going back. But you'll have to pay the tax on the property. You'll also have to pay the additional management fee for everyone involved. Now, the way that we have things set up here in Florida is 30% of your income. So let's say that rent is $1,500. 1,500 times 3 is 4,500. Who is making $4,500 a month? I wasn't making $4,500 a month. So you're not going to be able to rent because you don't make enough money. So all that leaves you with is being at your parents' house. So even if you were to get married and get a spouse and try to get your own home, you would not be able to. So now your relationship, your love life is going to suffer because of where you chose to work. You can't start a family because you don't get paid enough. Now, if you were to say, okay, let's go with the cheaper option and cut out some of the management fees and just own the home outright, you're still not owning the home because you are forever going to pay land tax, which goes up with inflation. Inflation is you getting taxed so that the government can keep getting money to protect us all. We have a certain amount that goes towards our military, which keeps us safe, keeps our airway safe so that we don't have projectiles of any sort falling through unexpectedly. I am grateful to our military. I am grateful for the system, but the system was meant for you to find your place in it. So if you choose to get a job that does not pay you, you will be hurting yourself. And that is why I am offering 50% split on my platform managers. Essentially, all you have to do is you grow the channel, you show me that you can handle it, you can have 50% of it. Now, the thing about it is, if I have to do it by myself and I have to grow these platforms by myself and get them monetized, and I was unable to convince any other humans to help me before I was making money, then we're going to be stuck in a situation where I'm going to keep that money for me, myself, and my family, because there was no other humans in the loop. Who am I supposed to split it with? And I know there's this thing where humans want to come in once you're actually profitable. But here's the thing, right? If you have a skill and your skill is able to actually turn a profit, I suggest you do that within the earliest stages of another person's business, because that is going to make you valuable. It'll not make you stay there forever, but the point isn't to stay there forever. The point is to make sufficient money to be able to take care of yourself. My charity that I am planning, it is going to have sufficient food for everyone, housing for everyone, and there will be a planned community time so that we can all come together peacefully. There is a lot of rules, and rules were meant to keep us safe, but there is a internal voting system from all of our volunteers, because this is not a platform where I will be making everyone do what I want. We will be coming together to choose how we decide to go forward. There'll be an internal voting system so that we can all contribute and our voices can be heard and actually matter. There's nothing worse than working for a company that sticks you in a corner in a cubicle, or tells you bring your computer in, the whole entire campus is yours, try to gaslight you by giving you a lot of food and a lot of money just to show you that they're about to replacing you. My company is not about replacing you. This company is about enhancing what everyone else is enjoying, providing value to the community. That's what this channel is about. Okay, but on that note, I really ought to end this video, because I do want to speak to us all next week about some more topics that I have pre-planned, and I want these videos to be understandable. But please do me a huge favor. Please like and subscribe. And there's even a third button. You can even share this video with someone who does not believe you that the AI revolution is going to replace them. Because if you tell someone that, hey, this is going to happen, they're going to say, hey, that could be your own point of view. But to show that we are all coming together as a community to raise our hands to say, no, we are not against AI. We just don't want to be replaced by AI. We want to be able to coexist peacefully and still be prosperous. Everybody on the planet is alive, and everybody on the planet deserves a chance to feed themselves. So let's come together and make that happen. But until next time, please remember to go outside, and there we go. Please remember to go outside, touch the ground, look at the sky, and stay hydrated. And until next time, I'll be seeing you soon.